Kesi Ksatru Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadha Vivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Kesi Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Up in Montreal, Canada, that's where I first saw the devotees chanting on the streets. So I was watching them, and then they came and offered me a book for which I gave a donation. Then I visited the temple and started reading the books. And after reading the books, I decided to join because I had met a few other Swamis in Montreal at the time, and their philosophy was kind of hard to understand, but I found Prabhupada's explanation very simple and understandable. So, after some time studying Srila Prabhupada's books, I visited the temple a few times, and then after that I joined. So I have to say it was Prabhupada's books and the Montreal devotees together. Many services, I started off with book distribution, then temple management, deity worship, and finally cooking. So in those days, we had to practically learn everything, so a whole variety of services. I felt that everything I had heard about him from the devotees was very true, and I felt that here is someone that I think I can trust with my life. So that was my first impression of seeing Srila Prabhupada personally. Well, I would have to say it would have to be master and servant, as he was the perfect master, and the guru is always the master and the disciple is always the servant. So I found that here is someone that I can be a servant to for the rest of eternity. The teachings of his books, but two statements in particular that in the Sri Guru Vasta, it is said that by the grace of the spiritual master, one obtains the mercy of Krishna. And without the grace of the spiritual master, one can make no advancement. So that, I think, is the most important thing that he has left in my heart. Okay, I'd just like to read something that I took a note of from the Srimad Bhagavatam in a purport. I'd just like to read Srila Prabhupada's exact words, because it ties in with the whole thing of the mercy of the spiritual master. Here it says, in Krishna consciousness, the results of one's activities depend on the will of the Supreme Person. Indeed, in all cases, the result is not dependent on one's own personal dexterity, but is completely dependent on the will of the Supreme. The results of his activities are completely dependent on the supreme will of the Lord. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, and the purport to text number 51. So I think that is one of the most important statements, because Srila Prabhupada is the, you could say, the bringer of Krishna's mercy. So we need both Srila Prabhupada's mercy and Krishna's mercy. So that would be the final conclusion for my understanding of Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.